And when I met with our pastor, do you know what he said to me? Sister Precious, these are things that happen in marriages. It's normal for an average African man to cheat on his wife. Cheating is very natural.
There is yes, and there is I said, didn't you find a better time to chase her out of the church
No.
than 1:45 a.m.?
Casually Serious with Ayomiko Emmanuel.
Welcome to another episode of Casually Serious, a podcast where we navigate the journey of love, heartbreaks, and resilience. A podcast where we embrace the complexities of relationship and celebrate the strength found in every chapter of love. All right, guys, without further ado, let's meet our special and beautiful guest for today. Can we meet you, Ma?
Hi everyone, my name is Precious Nelson Chidera, and I like to call myself the beautiful imperfection because I've been through terrible things in life. But look at me, I'm still strong and I'm still standing. So I like to use my experience to teach people out there who are in similar situation or who have passed through what I've passed through. So here, I am a content creator, a graphics designer, a video editor, a voiceover artist, a food processor, and a chef. In other words, I will use food to do you something.
I like the sound of that. She says she will use food to do something. I like the sound of chef actually. So having read all that profile, you should be able to tell if you know I'm not being too forward that a bride price is going to be bogus. So on that note, I'm going to ask so that I'm not jumping guns here.
Okay.
Your relationship status. I know there is a single, there is taking, there is married.
Taking for granted.
What other status? There's taking for granted. There is situationship. So tell us, spell it out. What's your relationship status? This is for those who are watching. So that in case you want to cast your net, you cast it well. And if there's no need, you put your net back in. So tell us,
okay,
what's your relationship status?
I'm single and I'm looking forward to finding genuine love again.
Okay, guys, she's single and looking forward to finding, in quotes, genuine love. Genuine love. All right, so having said this, I don't need a prophet to tell that you must have been in some kind of relationship.
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to walk us through why are you single if you were in a relationship? What happened? Okay, wait. How many relationships have you been in?
I've been in 3 serious relationships.
3 serious
The
relationships.
other ones were just talking stage.
Okay, so have you eaten today?
Of course I've eaten.
Because I'm ready to pull your lungs. And I'm sure there are people out there who will support. I will ask now 3 serious relationships.
Yes, 3 serious.
All right. Now, of the 3 serious relationships, I want you to walk us through the most spectacular, like the one that really eats you. Because I know we're not having a lot of time to go through the one that really eats you. Tell us about it. And when was this? When was the last time you were in this relationship? Or when did you break up, rather, or get separated from this relationship?
Okay, so my last relationship ended on the 15th of April last year.
Oh, 2023.
Yes.
So it's not even up to a year yet.
No, it's not up to a year.
Okay.
So let me tell you my story. So growing up, I was this young girl that grew to navigate through life on her own.
Okay.
I don't really have that close relationship with my parents. So my parents are career-oriented people. So I basically grew to navigate through life on my own. So in the journey of navigating through life on my own, I took the wrong path because I did not have anybody to put me through. So yes, to guide me. So here's my story. In 2020, I had just relocated from Port Harcourt down to Lagos, and I was having accommodation issues.
Yeah.
I relocated from Port Harcourt 2020, yes, during COVID. So I was having accommodation issues. I was a member of a church. I don't want to mention names. So
keep it discreet.
I was a member of a church. I was a very committed member. If they're counting top 5 committed workers, choristers. I'll be part of the
You
number.
can sing.
Yes, I can sing.
Unfortunately, this is not a singing show. I would have told her to flex her voice a bit, but we'll see to that maybe on another episode. So sorry about that.
So while I was in this church, I met a woman.
Okay.
And I felt I could trust her. I was seeing her as a mentor. I was very vulnerable with her because I felt I could open up to
A
her.
woman.
A woman, yes. But I didn't know that this person that I was being vulnerable with, or to, no send my papa. Because when I had my accommodation issues, I went to meet her and she told me to my face, Precious, I'm sorry, but the church cannot do anything about your case. You have to go back to Ogun State where your parents are. And I felt
Like she
so
told
bad.
you that bluntly?
Yes, bluntly, like on the spot. She didn't think about it. She didn't even talk to the pastor.
Now, what was she mentoring?
I don't know.
How did you? Wait, sorry. I'm going to pull your lungs. Have you eaten again?
I had jollof rice with turkey.
Jollof. If she told you this bluntly, what was she mentoring, or how was she able to hide the fact that she no send your papa all the while you never had an issue? What made you stay with her?
I was very vulnerable.
Oh, okay.
I was very naive.
Okay.
So I just needed just somebody I could open up to, and I felt she was the right person.
Okay.
I didn't have any close friend. I wasn't close with my parents, so there was nobody I could basically talk to at that point. So in 2020, in the process of trying to get an accommodation, I was sleeping from one place to the other. So I had no choice but to start sleeping in church.
Wow.
Yes, I was sleeping in church. I slept in church for months. Till one night, 1:45 a.m., I was sleeping in the gallery of the church. So this security guard walked up to me and he tapped me. I woke up. He was like, Sister Precious, I'm sorry, but you have to leave the church.
At 1:45 a.m.
1:45 a.m. So I was like, bros, where do you want me to go? Because the security guards knew that I was sleeping in church. They knew my issue.
Okay.
They knew about my issue. He said he was sorry, but a pastor's wife. He mentioned, that was where he messed it up. He mentioned the pastor's wife name. So he said, this pastor's wife said you should leave the church by this time. And I'm like, where do you want me to go to? He said he was sorry, but he didn't want to lose his job, and I understood. So I picked up my cardigan and I left the church.
At that time?
At that time, yeah. So I don't want to be so vocal about this, but I was just walking down the street thinking I would get a place. So from a distance from where I was hearing a church. I was hearing noises coming from a church. They were singing praises. So I felt, okay, let me enter the close where I was hearing the sound from, to see if I would be able to pass the night there. The last thing I remembered was that I entered that close. Before I knew it, 5 guys came out from nowhere, and one of them hit me with a bottle on my head. I fell on the floor. I was pleading with them. It was very dark. Immediately I entered the close, the street lights went off. I don't know if they took lights or it was intentional. I don't know, but I strongly believe that it was planned. So the lights went off. I didn't see their faces, but I could see 5 male figures, and I couldn't defend myself. I was gang raped at that point.
Wow.
By 5 men that I didn't see their faces.
Sorry, let me catch my breath. You're gang raped?
Yes, gang raped.
By 5 men?
5 men.
Sorry, just continue. I'm trying to come to that reality. Like myself, how was this in Port Harcourt, yeah?
Lagos.
In Lagos, yeah.
Yes, Lagos.
This is what area? Just mention
Gowon Estate.
Gowon Estate. Wow. Please go on.
So it happened and I couldn't defend myself. I drifted into unconsciousness. The next thing I drifted into unconsciousness, and later in the morning I regained consciousness and I realized that, oh, this had just happened. Long story short, I left the clothes. I was just walking about aimlessly because I did not have where to go to. I didn't have anybody to go and meet. So I met this man. I was walking. This man walked past me. He said hi. I did not answer him. So he walked back to me and he was like, young lady, I greeted you. You didn't say anything. What's wrong? You look very worried. This was around past 6 in the morning. So I told him that I'd just been raped last night and I didn't have where to go to. I was having accommodation issues. So he took me to his house. He called his fiance. She's a nurse. She came over, brought me some of her clothes, treated me, gave me a couple of medications to prevent pregnancy and infections, of course. Long story short, that scene passed. I was with them for a couple of months. So in this duration of time, I was still going to that same church. I was still attending that same church. Even this woman did not even know. The so-called mentor didn't know what had happened to me because I didn't tell anybody. The last thing she said to me was, go, the church cannot get you an accommodation. The church has a whole lot of things they are working on. So they can't do anything about your case. The best thing for you to do is go back to Ogun State.
But sorry, I want to come in there. If I think some other persons having gone back to the church would have actually voiced out about, because their actions put you through an ordeal
Yes.
that can be hurting for life, because the thoughts of it can be crazy. Why chase a woman, a lady, not like you didn't know she was staying there? Didn't you find a better time to chase her out of the church
No.
than 1:45 a.m.? I think some other persons would have voiced out. Why didn't you voice out? Why?
So the church I was attending is a church whereby if you don't know people,
Okay.
they can't take you serious. So I knew that if this so-called mentor had spoken to the pastorate on my behalf, they would have found a solution. Because I was not just the only single sister that had accommodation issues. We were three. So they did not do anything. She didn't, of course, if I had gone, I couldn't go to meet the pastor because he would ask me if my choir director knew
About it, yeah.
yes.
I think I'm
So
familiar with that.
you get, so
Yeah.
I had to pass through a process. That was why I went to meet up with her, but she just told me outrightly that the church couldn't do anything. So I accepted my loss, and I was still a chorister. She never, for a period of 7 months from the rape incident till like 7 months later, she never asked me anything. Even when I was seriously sick, I was diagnosed with fibroid, uterus fibroid.
Wow.
I practically gave this woman my results. I went to meet her. I said, please, ma, I'm sick and I would like you to join your prayers with me because I don't have money for surgery. I gave her my results. This woman for one day didn't call me to ask me, Precious, how are you feeling? How's your stomach? How is it? She never. And my result was with her. Now, do you know the funniest thing? This thing happened in 2020. So December 2020, I traveled. So when I got back, I came to church that particular day. It was a Sunday service. I love sitting in front, like the first row. I love sitting in front. So immediately I got to church, I went to my particular seat. Everybody knew that was my seat. So nobody used to sit there. So I got to my seat and I met my results on my seat. After 7 months that I gave this
in the
woman
church?
in the church. I felt so embarrassed.
Wait, I want to ask a question. I hope this woman is not mentoring other persons, because
I don't think so.
from the things you've said now and things I've heard, I don't think she fits that mentor position.
No, she doesn't.
That's weird.
She doesn't.
And the results contains your name.
My name, my everything, the whole fibroid stuff was there. I felt so embarrassed.
Do you think you might have wronged her at some point? And
I didn't do
she's probably
anything.
reacting?
See, okay, her husband was not even in the country at that point. They were living in a 2-bedroom flat.
Okay.
One room was empty. I didn't want to be outright, but I was hoping that she would say, okay, come and live with me for the meantime that my husband is not around.
Could it be that she never even wanted you around in the first place? Maybe your vulnerability blinded you to this fact.
I don't know. I felt I was being kind to her.
Because sometimes we become so vulnerable that our situations don't make us see some things. You understand? At that point, all we are just looking for is a way out.
Yes.
So maybe she may have been, because for somebody to have reacted this way,
yes,
it doesn't look to me like an instant thing. It's something that
it was intentional.
Yeah, something that she probably had in mind already, that when this girl comes around, just greet her, give her advice, I feel good. That kind of thing. There's nothing. So I think that's why I asked you, like, from the start, did you notice acceptance? Do you think she accepted you?
I think she did because I was doing her a favor in the sense that she's a gospel minister, so
Okay.
she has children. She would leave the children with me. She could
Oh,
entrust her children with me. She would go as far as going to Abeokuta. You know,
okay. And so you looked after her
I would
children.
like nothing. The children loved me so much. So if you could entrust your children in my care, why couldn't you help me?
So as at that point you needed help with the accommodation issue and all. Did she have somebody taking care of the children at that
No,
point?
she didn't have
So she
anybody.
didn't even look at the fact that you could come in and help with the child,
She
the
did.
children, and then
No, she didn't think about it that way.
oh, wow. So she wanted you to be rendering her a favor from a distance.
Yes,
She didn't want you to come.
yes.
Wow, that's
So,
serious.
long story short, I was still going to the church, and along the line, I met somebody, my ex
Okay.
partner. I met my ex partner through a friend. You know, we got talking, and it was like, ah, babe, do you have anybody you're dating? I said, no, I was single. One thing about me is this: I am very intentional about my relationships. I don't date random people. You have to have something that I could hold on to, or that I can hold on to when I want to date you. So about for this my ex, it was what got me attracted to him was the fact that he smelled so nice.
Sorry, let me come in there. Brothers that are watching, smell
So nice.
so nice. You see, this thing is cannot be overemphasized. Take it serious. Smell nice. Look good. Stop smelling like locust beans.
Oh yes.
Or onion. Please smell nice. It's a yardstick for women. To accept, at least first acceptance. So he didn't ask about the perf he was using. So maybe we
Do
can
you know that I asked about the
let's
perfume?
do free pop. Let's do free
We
advert.
did not even see it.
It's not in this country.
I don't know, but we checked because I wanted the perfume.
Okay.
But we checked and we couldn't find it. So,
Oh.
you know, what attracted me to him was the fact that he smelled so nice. He was not the best talker, he was not the most handsome person, but it was just, I don't know, little things get at me,
Wait,
you know?
sorry, are these women not complicated? I mean, she left looks and went for smell.
Smell,
And
yes.
she wasn't bothered about how he looked,
Nah.
how he talked. Smell. Who would have thought? So, bro, if you think you're not looking good, there is hope. There is hope. Just get a nice perf. Get a nice perf.
And deodorants too.
And deodorant. Yeah, please.
So, you know, I got attracted to him because he smelled so nice. And we got talking, and I told him everything.
Okay.
I lost my virginity at the age of 16.
Wow.
I was raped by a neighbor. So I've had two major rape incidents in my life that my parents don't know about. But I was very vulnerable with this man. I was very honest. I felt like I was being honest. I felt like I was being truthful. I practically carried him through all through my experiences in life. You get. So, you know, I told him everything and I felt I was in love. I didn't know that I was just infatuated. And him being a narcissist, he's a nice person. I won't say bad about him, but he has low self-esteem.
Okay.
So on the long run, I realized that he was a narcissist. You understand? So he practically took note of the fact that, oh, I was very vulnerable, because one thing about narcissists is that they pick out their victims.
Easily,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm a very vocal person regardless of whatsoever I've gone through. You can't shut me up, and I am so confident in myself that I know what I want. So he saw all this and he felt okay, he could use this person. So he came into my life, he asked me out, I agreed, we started dating, and he proposed.
He proposed
Yeah, he
marriage.
proposed
What was the
marriage.
distance between, or the duration between when he asked
3
you out?
months.
Just 3 months.
3 months,
Okay.
yeah, just 3 months. So, you know, that day I was in church. We had a youth program in church, and he just called me. Oh, could I come over to his friend's house? I got there, and the next thing that I saw was that he proposed. He was on his knees. I wasn't thinking straight. I didn't want marriage. I wanted therapy. I wanted closure. I wanted to heal. But he felt okay. I was dating this person. We could make things work out. If I could turn back the hands of time, I wouldn't have accepted that proposal.
Okay, wait. You accepted the proposal.
Yes.
Yeah. Were there persons,
Yes,
people
there were
around?
people. I was
So
under duress.
yeah, yeah. You see, that's the point I wanted to bring out. I think ladies have to learn to you know these some men are smart. Yeah, they feel okay if they propose to you in a large congregation or something,
You
it
don't have a
automatically makes
choice.
you say you don't have a choice. But I think ladies should learn to separate reality from fantasy. You know what you want now. Fine, you might want the guy later, you might want him, but you might not be ready at that point. But you have been forced into saying, yeah,
Yes.
okay, like in your case now, it's just 3 months, which I actually think it's too early.
Too early.
All you were seeking at that point was closure,
Closure.
somebody to you could feel comfortable with,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
just came in on you, sneaked in on you with a proposal like that, and you felt, we cannot fall this guy and embarrass her.
Yeah, and the reason
Yeah.
why I accepted was because okay, when we met, I told him about the accommodation issue and
Okay.
all. So he said I could come stay with him till we raise money to get me my place. That was what he said. So along the line, pregnancy happened and the proposal came. So I didn't have a
Okay,
choice.
you were already pregnant
Yes.
when he proposed.
Yes.
Okay,
So
I think I
didn't.
see. That's another angle to it.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't have a choice. I had to accept. Now we didn't have intelligent conversations. We didn't have conversations of, oh, what do you want to do with your life? What do you see yourself? What impact can I bring? There was nothing like that. It was just everything that happened was still feels like a dream to me because how did it happen? I know, Precious, you're not a dull person, so how did it happen? So I want to, as much as I would say that okay, I was vulnerable, I would also say that he took advantage of the fact that I was lonely. I had nobody I was talking to. I didn't have friends. I had a friend, but she was distant. Do you understand? So, pregnancy happened, and we had to go meet my parents. And I told my mom I was pregnant. I told my dad I was pregnant.
Sorry, let me bring you back a bit. When you found out you were pregnant, how did you feel?
I was scared. I was scared because that was not the part I wanted to, walk through. I didn't want to get pregnant before getting married. So I was very scared and I didn't know what to do. So I spoke to my parents and I quote, my mom said, over my dead body, where you go take born this pikin if you no marry this man. So my parents wanted me to get married to be able to have the child. They said, my mom said I was not going to have the child outside wedlock. So the whole pressure was coming from my parents, from the church not being allowed to know what was going on because we just had to cover up everything.
Okay.
We didn't want the church to know that, oh, I was pregnant. So we just had to cover up everything. I had to lie that my bride price had been paid.
Okay.
Because I was trying to save myself from the whole shame. I was trying to save my family from the whole shame. So, my mom said that, and I was pressurized into doing a court wedding. So we had a court wedding where, people just came around, close people that came around because we just wanted to seal everything. We didn't want people to feel like, oh, she got pregnant before she got married. So the storyline was, oh, he'd already paid my bride price.
Okay.
Now just court wedding we won't do now.
Okay.
You understand? So it happened. I had my son. My son's name is King Bethel, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me. And this storyline is not so pleasant, but then the only consolation I have is my son. I look at him on a daily basis, and I have every cause to want to be strong because I was suicidal for a long time. I started taking alcohol. I started smoking. These are things that I would never do on a good day. But because of the pressure, the whole depression and suicidal thoughts and all, I had to give in. But I stopped. So I had my son, and after the court wedding, I had my son, and everything was going so well till I found a text message in my ex's phone. In that text message, he told the girl that he missed her and that he felt like kissing her. in the text message.
You guys have done the court wedding,
We
yeah?
had done the court wedding.
And you have you given birth? At
Yes,
this
I
time?
had given birth. My son was about 8 months.
So now he's looking for the next.
And this is somebody that he told me, when we met, he introduced the girl to me. He told me that they were just friends, but they had dated, but it didn't work out between them, so they were just friends. So why would you even have such thoughts? What would you? I felt less of myself. I felt embarrassed because what was I not doing, or what did this lady have that I did not have? So I picked that as a point, but I did not tell him because I was still trying to process it. Like, Precious, what were you not doing right? Why would this man have the intentions to want to look out? Not just anybody, but somebody that I know. So, I changed. I obviously changed towards him. I started keeping to myself. I
Did he
wasn't
know you
talking
saw
to
the text?
He didn't know.
He didn't tell
I
him.
deleted it.
If you deleted it, he's supposed to know.
He didn't bring it up.
He didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Very smart.
Smart man.
So
He knows he knows there was a court.
yeah.
He knows there was already a court. So the man prefers to just smart move. Nice one.
Yeah, so I didn't talk about it and he didn't bring it up, but he noticed that I changed. I wasn't talking to him. I was just being on my own. I was always on my phone because that point was a very trying period for me. I just had to find solace in my phone. I wasn't talking to family members, didn't know what was going on. My friend then didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on. So I decided to keep it to myself. So he noticed that I had changed and he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what was happening. He tried to ask me on several occasions. I told him I was fine. I was good. I was also going through postpartum depression. I just had my baby, so I was very depressed. Normal. It's very normal. So, I decided to keep to myself, and it went on for a couple of weeks till he went to speak to our pastor about it.
Okay.
So my pastor called for a meeting. I went. From the onset, I told him, the energy you give me is the same energy I'll reciprocate. If you treat me like trash, I'll treat you like trash. If you disrespect me, I will disrespect you. I will never overplay my part in your life or in anybody's life. I believe that the energy you give me is the same energy I should reciprocate and give back to you. So, and I told him, guy, we had a conversation. Cheating is my deal breaker. If you cheat on me, I would leave you without thinking twice. If you flirt with somebody other than me, I would leave you because I believe that I'm a speck. I am a full option. Like, what do other women have that I don't have? So why would you cheat on me?
Show you that your profile. You can cook. What else are you looking for as a man?
How can you have somebody like me in your life and you decide to look out?
Food processor.
I'm intelligent. I can cook.
Smart.
I am smart. Eloquent. I am outspoken. I am decent. Like, everything. So I had this conversation with him, but I don't know why he still chose to go ahead. But the thing is, after I saw that text message, the trust I had for him died. Like, it died on the spot. And before this girl, there was somebody he was talking to. He was always having constant conversations with. He claimed that the girl is just a friend. But you guys were having constant conversations. The day we had the court wedding, immediately after they joined us together, I changed my Facebook name. I changed my status. Like, I made it very obvious that I am no longer single.
Okay.
Do you understand? So the male friends that I had, immediately I made that post. Some of them reached out to me. Precious, you didn't tell us you were getting married. I don't marry. Move on with your life. So I was very committed.
So you were expecting the same commitment?
I was expecting the same commitment from him, but I don't know why he did what he did. Now, when I met with this our pastor and I told him what happened, do you know what he said to me? He said, Sister Precious, these are things that happen in marriages. It is normal for an average African man to cheat on his wife. Cheating is very natural and it runs in the DNA of African men.
Casually Serious with Ayomiko Emmanuel.